Hey guys, it is Wednesday, October 30th, 2024, and I'm back with some free VST plugins to help you with your musical adventures and endeavors. All right, guys, we are wrapping up the month today of October 2024, which was themed with free saturation plugins and free creative effect plugins. So let's wrap up the month. Let's finish strong. Here we go. So the free VST plugins for today are as follows. First up here, we have Prisma. So Prisma has a pretty wacky interface. Outside of that, it's a pretty highly functional saturation plugin. A lot of detail and control to it. So with this one, it is a multi-band saturator slash clipper slash distortion. And the unique thing about it is not only is it multi-band, 4 bands, so it's broken up into low, low, mid, and highs. You also have 4 slots for each frequency range, which I haven't really seen that before. I've not really seen that before. If I remember correctly, the interface is resizable, and this developer, Unplug Red, that's their name, they make pretty wacky interfaces, but their plugins are actually pretty good. So with this one, we have an A-B section, and like I said, you have your 4 bands for you to add in different modules, and they have 21 different modules. So you click here where you see the plus sign right in these areas for each band, and you can add up to, I guess if we're doing 4 times 4, you can add up to 16 modules if you filled up every slot, which I'm sure would be you terrorizing your system. I would wonder how your system would handle that. And of course it would sound crazy, but they have different types of saturation, clipping, distortion that you can add to specific bands, which is very complex and effective to really do some subtle and effective saturation. Because you can even use this, let's say, on a bass, like a live bass, recorded bass, I should say, real bass guitar that's recorded, and then add this to like maybe the mid highs or the high to add some grit and some kind of clarity and brightness to the high end with some form of tape distortion, saturation, or even clipping on that higher end to bring out some of the top end of the strings. So very effective plugin. I've used it a couple of times. From what I remember, it wasn't too bad on the CPU, but the interface pretty straightforward. Like I said, here are the bands. Down at the bottom of each band, you have your crossover and then your gain control for each band. So the crossover is just going to set the beginning and the end point of each band range, frequency range. There's a dry wet knob, and that's pretty much it. But this one's pretty detailed. I just don't like the interface. It's kind of wacky. Next up, we have Fat Cat. This is another one that has an interface that I'm not a fan of, but their plugins are pretty simple and they're very effective. This is from the developer Vox Samples, and this is Fat Cat Saturation. It just has mainly one big knob to drive that saturation. There's a mix knob and a volume knob for your gain control, for you to volume match and gain stage after you've set up your saturation levels. So this one can be a little bit harsh, so be very gentle with it, depending on what you're going for. I mean, sometimes you want to really mess something up, so you crank it, but it gets real funky real fast. So just be careful with that one. So that's Fat Cat from Vox Samples. I just wish they wouldn't do their interface like this. Most of them is like this. It's like animals and insects, and it's weird. They think it's cool. I think it's weird. I think the interface is resizable. They're a fairly new company. They've been pumping out very straightforward, simple utility effects like this. Some of them are pretty good. So definitely check out Fat Cat from Vox Samples. Next up for saturation, we have Triple Drive. This one is similar to the first one, and it is a multi-band saturator. Unlike the last one, you can only choose one type of saturation for each band, and this one only has 3 bands. But there's also an EQ section over here on the left. On the right, you have your input, high pass frequency, all the way to the left. Sorry, on the left, the high pass frequency. On the right is the EQ. And on the right side, you also have your low pass filter. There's volume control over here, and we see our 3 bands, and our crossover knobs are right here to set your band ranges from your low, mid to your high. And you have a visual representation here, which I appreciate the visuals, so you'll see how the bands are divided up based on where you set your crossover value. So otherwise, you have your selection area up here for you to select the different types of saturation / distortion that you're going for. They don't have it listed here how many, but they have a decent amount. Not as much as the last one, but they have a couple of different algorithms. Right here we see logistic, tube, distortion. So you get an idea of what they offer. So down here it says you could add gentle clipping, harsh distortion, or anything in between using a variety of distortion types. So, and this is available for Mac and PC. Fat Cat is available for Mac and PC. Prisma is available for Linux, Mac, and PC. So for creative effects, first up here we have Pancake from Cable Guys. Let me refresh this. Refresh. So Pancake from Cable Guys, basically it's a panning effect that has its own automated panning already going. There is a panning envelope here and a nice little visual of your audio. So you'll see how the panning is traveling from left to right as you see the audio going through. You can change your speed, your time signature speed, how many times it cycles per bar. So if it's every beat, half beat, quarter beat, things of that nature. So you can set that up. So how fast it's panning, and then how wide it's panning, and then of course the panning curve. There are presets, so you can start with a preset and then tweak from there. They have a section over here 1 through 10, so you can have different setups and cycle through those 1 through 10 different types of panning. There's a lot of tools on the side here for you to really affect and craft your own travel envelope for how you want the panning to happen, how smoothly, how sharply you want it to change direction, things of that nature. So you can really dial in the modulation to your taste and to your liking. Pretty effective. I use this one a lot when I just don't feel like setting up any kind of automation for some panning that I need. And I do it a lot of times during the designing period of like constructing my beat. So I use it on hats, pads, leads, sometimes on Vox. But it's pretty effective and it gets you dialed in very quickly with those type of panning effects. So definitely a good one to have. Pancake from Cable Guys. Next up we have Vinyl. This one is pretty popular from Isotope. You can get this now on the Native Instruments website because they're now somehow linked. But this one, they revamped the interface recently to make it a little bit more comprehensive, a little bit more modern. I'm assuming the interface is resizable, and they kind of updated the algorithm and all that good stuff. But it's basically your vinyl kind of like record effect where you're going to get that lo-fi, you can get some wobble, you can deteriorate the sound a bit, give it that lo-fi sound, and you can get some record scratching and kind of record noises added in, mechanical, electrical noises, warping, scratch, dust sound, wear, and you can get like a tape stop effect also. So the interface is pretty straightforward. Up here with the years, 1930, 1950, 1960, 1970, 1980, and 2000. These are pretty much like EQ filters, pretty much presets to kind of roll off some of the fidelity of your sound to give it that vintage sound. Down here we have RPM, spin down, lo-fi, wear, gain, model for the dust, scratch, and the warp. So pretty intuitive interface. I like what they did with the upgrade as far as the interface, updating that interface. So definitely check out Vinyl from iZotope if you're looking for that vinyl old school type of lo-fi sound. So for the instruments today, we have Sapphire Guitar 2 from Zach Sound. This one just came out this week, probably a day or two ago. I saw it kind of pop up on the web. I have Sapphire Guitar 1. And this, I'm assuming, is the light version, the free version. Free version comes with 17 presets, which is pretty cool, with 17 unique layers. And it's pretty much guitar-esque, kind of what I covered, I think, a month ago or 2 months ago. I think I might have spoken about Sapphire Guitar, the first version, when I did that month themed with guitar plugins. So this one is pretty much just an iteration of that. And you're going to get a lot more ambient pad sound, so a lot more atmospheric and texture type sounds out of this. You might get a little bit of plucky things, but it's going to be very ambient, very atmospheric, and a lot of textures to help you create like soundscapes. So that's the type of instrument it is. And it's very effective for what it does. So that is Sapphire Guitar 2. Last up for today, we have Cinna, which is a synth. It's a very basic synth. I think this one has only one oscillator, but just the way it works, it's using some complex methods to still give you some nice rich sounds and textures. We still have your ADSR, things of that nature. I don't remember how many presets are there. I'm not seeing it listed, but it has a decent amount of presets and has a decent sound. I haven't used this one in a while, but I know I've used it before and I was pleased with it. They have different skins. I think the interface is resizable, so definitely check that one out. This is from New Softing and they have it for Mac and PC. For Zach Sounds, this is available for Mac and PC, I think. But that's it for the video, guys. Well, that's it for the plugins, I should say. So check out the link in the description. It will take you to this blog page where you can check out the information here, click on the corresponding download links, and check out the plugin for yourself. All those plugins. Also, there's a link in the description for a video series that I did called PC Specs and how it relates to video production. So if you're looking to upgrade your system, get your first or get a new system, this series will help you understand where you should spend your money, how all the specs works to help you produce music smoothly without any hitches and glitches, any clicks and pops, not too much of a delay, all those issues that might distract you when you're trying to create or when you're trying to work on a mix or a master. So it'll just help you understand what you need to get and what you need to beef up on your system to make it run smoothly for your workload and your workflow. So the link is in the description for that. There's another link in the description for a growing playlist for these videos that I do twice a week if you're looking for more free VST plugins, 100% free, all the time free. So check out those videos if you want more free VST plugins. All right, guys, that's it for the week. That's it for the month of October 2024. Check back in next week. We will be back most likely next Tuesday. beginning of November with the new theme for October. Check back to see what the theme is. It's going to be a good one for the month. As we chug along, the year's almost over. So check back next week. Thanks for watching, guys. And as always, you will see me in the next video.